good evening, everyone. So, today we have our Chitvan Sharma joining the session, 16th of July 2026. Chitvan Sharma's last PhD scholar presentation. Congratulations, Chitvan ji. So, that was going very well. And today we'll again have another interesting session of Mars. So, over to you, Chitvan.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, your support. So, namaste, everyone. With the blessing of Sir and the constant support and motivation of all my friends, I'm delighted to present the third and final session of my presentation series on Mangal Dosha. It's not a dosha, it's yoga. In first two sessions, we explore about the concept of Mars and Mangal Dosha. Today in this session, we will discuss practical case studies and the various parihara that shows why Mangal dosha should not be understood. Why Mangal dosha should not be understood as a yoga. So I hope all you all enjoy the session and find it insightful. So let us start. My screen is visible to you. Before we begin, let me briefly introduce myself and the academic background behind this session. My name is Chitvan Sharma. I am a researcher, educator, and a dedicated student of Vedic astrology with a special interest in marriage astrology and the classical Jyotisha. My academic journey has been driven by a desire to study traditional astrology concept through scriptural study, research, and practical chart analysis. This curiosity led me to pursue structured learning at the Vedic Science Research Organization, where I have got the opportunity to deepen my understanding of Jyotisha, Vargas, yoga, and predictive technique under expert guidance of Professor Chitvan Sharma sir. Today's session is practically focuses on practical case studies and parihara for Mangal dosha, presenting it as a yoga rather than a dosha. So, this session has been inspired and supported by the learning environment of Visro, which emphasizes authenticating scriptural study and practical astrological research. Vedic Science Organization is a platform dedicated to preserving and advancing the Vedic science, founded with the vision of making astrology accessible, scientific, and transformative for genuine seekers. Guided by its motto, we don't we don't just teach astrology, we make astrologers. Visro offers structured courses, live classes, and research driven programs across Vedic astrology, Nadi astrology, Vastu Shastra, medical astrology, neurology, and crystal healing. Being part of this growing community of scholar and mentor has given me invaluable opportunity for research and practical learning and continues to inspire my work in uh, advanced classical astrological knowledge, including my present study on the true nature of Mangal Dosh. So, quick brief and recap of my last two sessions, in where we have to study about the common myth of Mangal Dosha, traditional house by houses that we know when Mars posited in first, second, fourth, seventh, and eighth and 12th house shows a Mangal dosh. So when Mars posited in first house, it shows the aggression and impatience can impractical marital harmony. When Mars posited in second house, affect family life and communication, shows fiery speech of family disagreement. When Mars posited in fourth house, create restlessness in home life, emotional imbalance, or stress related to property and home. When Mars is posited in seventh house, strong impact on spouse and marriage can give dominance of conflict. When Mars posited in eighth house, it shows the traditional text. Consider that instance bring sudden events, irritation, or misunderstanding in married life. Mars in the 12th house, it affects peace of mind and married life, can cause overthinking, hidden anger, or frustration. These placements are not always negative. The actual result depends on the whole chart, strength of Mars, aspect, conjunction, and overall planetary combination. So, reframing this narrative beyond fear based interpretation, these are the common myths associated with Mars plays in certain houses. However, the following explanation show how Mars actually gives different positive and affirmative energy in different houses, both for the individual native or for the marital life. Rather than judging Mars only through fear-based concept, understanding its placement in different houses, strength, sign, overall chart harmony reveals how Mars support personal growth, confidence, and resilience, as well as commitment, protection, passion, stability, and long-term marital harmony. Understanding Mars correctly brings empowerment, not fear. It shows support and personal growth. Mars gives the drive, determination, and energy to achieve goals and become better version of oneself. It builds confidence, if strength, self-belief, courage, and the ability to face challenges with a positive mindset. It encouragement and commitment. Mars inspire loyalty, dedication, and a sense of responsibility towards one's partner and relationship. It provides protection. It acts as a guardian, creating security, trust, and emotional strength in marital life. It ignites passion and connection. Mars bring warmth, romance, and physical attraction that keep the relationship vibrant and alive. It creates stability and harmony. With maturity and balance, Mars helps build a strong foundation for a long-lasting harmonies and fulfilling a marriage life. When Mars is understood with wisdom, it becomes a source of strength, not strife, a create of harmony, not disharmony. A partner is now building a beautiful, blessed marriage. So, as a yoga reading, Mars in first and second house, a source of strength, loyalty, and protection in marriage. When Mars posited in ascendant in first house, represent the self, body, courage, and action. Here, Mars works openly and powerfully, given confidence, energy, and fearless leadership oriented nature, like a warrior leading from the front. It shows the, in marriage, it shows the native loyal, deep loyalty and understanding for faithfulness towards spouse. It shows the protectiveness, always spend a protective in every situation. It shows the responsible, take full responsibility in maintaining marital harmony. It shows the passion, brings passion, commitment, and emotional strength. When Mars posited in first house, it faces marital challenges with courage, determination, and warrior spirit. When Mars is posited in second house, it is a strong placement, and second house represents family values, speech, and finance. Mars gives courage to protect family, firm principle, and the drive to build the defend wealth, making the native bold in speech and strong in values. In marriage, this brings loyalty, responsibility, bold speech, natives speak with confidence and stand for the truth and values. It shows the financial security, it drives financial growth and creates stability for the family. So here Mars protect family values, ensures stability and builds a secure, prosperous married life. Mars in first and second house is a blessing, not a curse. It brings strength to the individual security, loyalty, and harmony in marriage. When Mars posited in fourth and seventh house, it shows the strength, love, and protection in marriage. Mars in the fourth house shows a home and inner security. And Mars works here as a protector, giving courage, stability, and the strong inner foundation. In marriage, this brings deep loyalty, stand by the spouse in every situation. It is responsible, take full responsibility for the family and house, protective attitude. Mars act as a guardian, creating safety and emotional security here. It shows us stability and security, helps build a stable, secure, and emotional, supportive family life here. So, Mars in the fourth house create a strong foundation of love, trust, and emotional safety in the marriage. When Mars posited in seventh house, create as a yoga. March seventh house represent the commitment and partnership. Mars brings the energy, initiative, clarity into relationship. In marriage, this brings passion and attraction, activeness and involvement, loyalty and assertiveness, courage in challenges. They face relationship challenges directly with the bravely and strengthfully. So Mars in the seventh house brings passion, loyalty, and commitment, helping the marriage grow stronger. It creates a home of love, relationship built on trust, passion, commitment, and emotional stability. When Mars presented in 8th and 12th house, it shows a source of transformation, spiritual growth, and unconditional love in marriage. When Mars in 8th house represents transformation, depth, and resilience. Mars gives intense inner strength and courage face crises and challenges. In marriage, it brings deep commitment, loyalty, and protection toward the spouse, helping the relationship enduring challenges and the grow stronger through difficult phases. So it shows the transformation, inner strength, and deep commitment and protection in the married life. Mars in the 12th house reflect a transformative placement, represent isolation, sacrifices, and spiritual growth. Mars works quietly, giving inner strength, endurance, and action guided by inner awareness. In marriage, it brings selfless support, compassion, and emotional maturity, helping the relationship grow through quiet effort, understanding, and spiritual bonding. It shows the inner growth, selfless effort, compassion, and spiritual bonding. When Mars in the 12th house brings peace, compassion, and spiritual depth to marriage. When understood correctly, Mars become a yoga of strength, not a dosha of fear, bringing growth, protection, and divine force. So now let us we begin with the case studies here. With We begin with a couple where both partners show strong Mars influence. As the analysis unfolds, we will see how their combined Mars energy become a source of strength rather than conflict, resulting the over 3 decades of marriage. Here, male and female chart. So, in male chart is Cancer ascendant. As we know that Cancer is a sensitive, intuitive, and family oriented ascendant. For Cancer Lagna, Mars is the Yogaraka as it rules the fifth and tenth house, making it a highly supportive planet. It gives success, strength, and stability. So Mars placement here shows a positive Yogaraka energy, not a dosha. Mars rules the fifth and tenth house, connecting to many areas and aspect the fourth, seventh, and eighth house from the first. Though Mars is in debilitation sign, it gains strength through Lagna placement, protecting and personality as Yogarka. Mars' fourth aspect on the fourth house brings a strong desire for the property, real estate, or vehicle, an active role in creating security, stability in married life, a protective attitude towards home and family, and energy spent on the family responsibility. Mars aspect on the seventh house directly from the first, given passion, intensity in relationship. The marriage partner is active, dynamic, and strong personality and emotionally bonding become very strong and commitment. Mars also aspect eighth house, giving strong passion and attraction that increase intimacy between partners, creating deep emotional bonding and commitment after the marriage. It provides courage and strength to face challenges together. supporting long-term transformation and growth that make the marriage resilient and dynamic. In the female chart, Aries ascendant, Aries is a bold, active, dependent Rashi, and Mars is the Lagna lord, making it strongest Lagna. With Mars in Scorpio in the eighth house, it become a very powerful, giving depth, courage, intuition, and strong emotional energy. This placement shows inner strength and transformation. Aries Lagna, Mars is Lagna Lord. Its energy flow into personality and physical strength. Mars in the eighth house naturally rules the eighth house for Aries Lagna. So in this case, both charts show strong Mars influence, making the pair equally intense, loyal, and emotionally powerful. Both are Mangli. The Martian energy naturally balance, reducing conflict and creating mutual understanding. The male's Mars aspect on fourth, seventh, and eighth house aligned with the female's Mars in the first and eighth house, resulting the strong attraction, deep bonding, and shared courage in handling challenges. Together, their strong Mars energy become a strength, supporting mutual growth, confidence, and dynamic, an inspiring partnership. They got married 30 years ago and experiencing a happy married life. Now move to case 2. First, we examine case study 1, where both male and female had a strong Mars influence, yet no negative effects were observed, showing that Mars operated in a balanced and constructive manner in their charts. Now we move to case study 2, where only the female show a prominent Mars influence while the male does not. Or to further understand how Mars functions based on placement, strength, and overall chart harmony, rather than the traditional classification of Mangal Dosh. In the previous session, we discussed and understood that in olden days, many families reject marriage proposal when one partner is Manglik and the other is not. A belief that has led to discrimination, particularly against women labeled as Manglik. However, this case presents a contrasting reality where the female shows Manglik influence while the male does not, and yet they have completed over 51 years of happy and stable married life, clearly challenging traditional assumption of Mangal Dosh. Here in case study 2, male and female chart here. So, in female chart, Libra ascendant, Mars posited in first house. She is a strong, confident, and independent. She takes a bold decision and has high energy. She can protect her family with courage. Mars aspect fourth house from the first house, so she is a very protective of her home and family. She manages household matters confidently, makes smart decisions about property and marriage. Emotionally, she stays steady and balanced. When Mars posited in first house, aspect the seventh house, it shows her marriage is passionate and strong. She is loyal, supportive, and stand firmly with her spouse. The bond between partners become together as they face life together. Mars aspected eighth house. Eighth house shows a transformation. So she has good longevity and strong inner resilience. She can handle sudden events bravely. And in the male chart, uh, Gemini ascendant, Mars posited in third house in Leo, and his chart show a calm, balanced temperament without aggressive Mars influence. His nature is stable and adaptable, making him capable of handling relationship with maturity. So their Mars placement complement each other well. The female strong and confident Mars energy is balanced by the male's calm and steady Mars in the third house. She brings courage and passion, while he offers stability and maturity. Together, this create a harmonious and supportive partnership without clashes. So far, we have studied Mars from the first house. Next, we will analyze Mars in the fourth, seventh, eighth, and 12th houses to see how it influences marriage from different house positions. After this, we will combine the result with the Rashi perspective to understand how Mars give the different outcome based on the both houses and Rashi placement as a yoga. In the prior cases, we discussed and understood that in olden days, many families reject marriage proposal when one partner is Manglik and the other is not. Especially in this case where female shows Manglik influence and male does not. And we saw that in the prior case, if the female shows Manglik influence, marriage still lasted over 51 years. Uh, and the next is case study number 3. However, this case presents a contrasting reality where the male shows Manglik influence while the female does not. And yet they have completed over 30 years of a happy and stable married life. It's clear challenging traditional assumption of Mangal Dosha again. So in the case 3, male and female chart, male chart Kanya ascendant. Kanya Lagna is an intelligent, practical and service oriented ascendant. For Kanya Lagna, Mars is a functional benefic at its rules third and eighth house, giving courage, resilience, and ability to overcome obstacles. Here, Mars in Leo, Uttara Falguni Nakshatra, ruled by Sun, is considered a strong and positive placement. After passing through its debilitation sign Cancer, Mars feels relieved and empowered here in the sign of Leo, the sign of the king, Sun. Mars, as the commander in chief, functions very comfortably in the king's domain, expressing strength, leadership, and disciplined action. Mars in Leo give a confident, loyal, and protective partner who takes pride in the spouse and the relationship. Marriage flourish on mutual respect and appreciation with strong and passion and attraction maintained over time even when assertive. The intent is caring, protective, and helping the bond remain strong and vibrant. So, when Mars in Leo in the 12th house gives deep physical and emotional attraction toward the spouse, the native is strongly protective and express love through quiet care, private support, and meaningful action, strengthening the bond through intimacy and emotional depth here. Mars plays in 12th house in Leo casts its fourth aspect on the third house, strengthening the communication and effort in marriage. This aspect makes the native courageous, clear, and protective in expressing thought to the spouse, giving the initiative to resolve marital issue rather than avoid them, and the strength to stand firmly for the spouse. Mars placed in the 12th house in Leo casts its eighth special aspect on the 7th house of marriage, making the marital bond intense and deeply transformative. This aspect creates strong physical attraction and passion between partners and gives a highly protective nature toward the spouse. Overall, this aspect supports a strong, loyal, and karmic marital connection, strengthening commitment rather than separation. So, in the female chart, Leo Lagna, as we know that Leo is a confident, authoritative, and leadership oriented ascendant. For Leo Lagna, Mars is a highly supportive and powerful planet as it rules the fourth and ninth houses, making it as Yokaraka. It gives courage, protection, fortune, and the strength to rise in life through right action and determination. In marriage, Mars brings strength, stability, and protection, making the native loyal, responsible, and deeply committed toward the spouse. So, Mars in the Taurus Kritika Nakshatra for marriage perspective. Taurus gives steadiness, patience, and long term commitment in marriage. The native values stability and security, preferring a relationship that grows slowly but remains strong. Placed in Kritika Nakshatra, Mars become a protective and decisive, making the native loyal and willing to stand firmly for the spouse. Love is expressed more through action than words, and one person remains dedicated, protective, and dependable, helping the marriage stay stable and enduring. So, according to the energy of Mars, this pairing balance shows balance rather than conflict. The male Mars in Leo in the 12th house is a strong but expressed quietly, making him protective, courageous, and supportive. His energy works through patience, endurance, and emotional strength. The female, though non Manglik, has Mars in the Taurus in the 10th house, where Mars expresses itself in a stable, grounded, and constructive way. From a Martian energy perspective, this is a complementary exchange. Leo provides passion and courage, Taurus provides patience and stability. Control Mars that support commitment, loyalty, and long term marital strength, even with one partner being non Manglik. After 30 years of marriage, their happy life together reflect this strong and supportive bond. So, first we examine case study where only the male show prominent Mars influence while female does not. To further understand how Mars function based on placement, strength, and the overall chart harmony rather than the traditional classification of Mangal Dosh. Now we move to case study 4, where both the male and female have strong Mars influence, yet no negative effect were observed, showing that Mars operated in a balanced and constructive manner in their charts. Case study 4, male and female chart here. Male chart, Leo Lagna, again Leo is a confident, authoritative, and leadership oriented ascendant. For Leo Lagna, Mars is highly supportive and powerful planet as it is rule fifth, fourth, and ninth house, making it as a yokaraka. It gives courage, protection, fortune, and the strength to rise in life through right action and determination. In marriage, Mars brings strength, stability, and protection, making the native royal, responsible, and deeply committed toward the spouse. Mars in the Scorpio in the fourth house gives strong commitment and loyalty in marriage. The native is deeply protective toward the spouse, forms a deep emotion bond. Marriage is supported through action rather than words, with a strong focus on protecting the home and building a long term stability. Fourth aspect on the seventh house from Mars in Scorpio, fourth house, casting its fourth aspect on the seventh house, marriage house, gives deep loyalty, protection, and commitment towards the spouse. The native forms a strong emotional bond in the marriage, safeguard the home and relationship, and brings long lasting stability and strength to the married life. In female chart, Scorpio Lagna, and we know Scorpio gives a native intense courage and strong determination. Mars as the Lagna Lord makes the native bold, resilient, and able to handle challenges. In marriage, Mars brings loyalty, protection, and commitment, helping the native maintain a stable and strong relationship. For a Scorpio Lagna native, Mars as Lagna Lord in the 8th house in Gemini brings passionate and deep emotional bonding in marriage. The relationship is full of intensity, loyalty, and mutual support. Both partners share a strong connection with mental compatibility and lively communication. Overall, the marriage is transformative, secure, and fulfilling. So their Mars placement complement each other beautifully. The male's Mars in Scorpio in the fourth house bring calm strength, protection, and emotional stability, while the female's Mars in the eighth house in Gemini adds passion, depth, and strong mental connection. He offers security and steadiness, and she brings intensity and transformation. Together, this creates a harmonious, supportive, and clash free partnership built on loyalty and mutual understanding. So, after 30 years of marriage, their happy life together reflects their strong and supportive bond. We are trying to understand the true energy of Mars. In the next phases as well, we will analyze real case study of one Mangli couple and one non-Mangli couple to clearly show the Mars does not inherently harm marriage. Though this practical example, we are trying to remove the negative stigma associated with Mangal dosh and to highlight that Mars is not a dosh but a yoga. When Mars function is correctly placement, correct Mars function in its correct placement, strength, and overall the chart harmony, it becomes a strong foundation for stability, commitment, and long-lasting marital happiness. So here some cancellation and exceptions for yoga. Some short rules here. If both the boy and girl have Mars place in any of the Mangalik house, first, second, fourth, seventh, eighth, 12th, Mangal dosha considered as cancelled because their Mars energy are considered balanced, reducing conflict and creating compatibility. If Saturn is placed in any of one the same Mangalik houses, first, second, fourth, seventh, eighth, and 12th, where Mars caused Manglik dosha, then the Manglik dosha is cancelled because Saturn's discipline, patience, and maturity help control the Mars' impulsive and aggressive nature. If Venus, the significator Karka of seventh house, is not afflicted by malefic planets Saturn, Rahu, or the Sun, through conjunction or aspect on Mangal dosh does not arise because a strong, unaffected Venus support love, harmony, and marital happiness, and it connect with the Mars. When it connects with the Mars, it show the passion in the marriage. If Venus is well placed and receive the influence of benefic planet, Mangal dosh does not exist because benefic influence strength relationship, affection, and mutual understanding. If Mars is placed in the second house and second house falls in Gemini or Virgo, Mangal dosh does not occur because Virgo and Gemini and Virgo sign is a Mercury sign. Mercury, planet of practicality and analytic nature, is soften the Mars and reducing the aggression of the Mars. Here, if Mars is placed in the fourth house and fourth house falls in Aries and Scorpio, Mangal dosha does not occur because Mars is in its own sign, so its energy become constructive, disciplined, and well directed. If Mars plays in the seventh house in Cancer, Mangal dosha does not occur because we know that Cancer sign is a mother sign, moon sign, protective sign. Mars is protector here. If Mars plays in the eighth house in Sagittarius and Pisces, Mangal dosha does not occur because, as we know, that Sagittarius and Pisces sign as a Guru sign. Jupiter is neutralize the energy of Mars, and it Mars go through the very constructive and disciplined manner. So it does not harm the marriage house or marriage life. If Mars in place in the 12th house in Taurus or Libra, Mangal dosh does not occur because Libra and Taurus is a Venus sign, and Venus is a somehow the planet of marriage. When Mars posited in the Venus sign, it softens the Mars, promoting compromisation and passion here. If Rahu plays in the favorable sign and associated with benefic planet occupies a Kendra and Kona, and aspected by the Mars, Mangal dosha is also cancelled because benefic influence modify Rahu's energy and lessen Mars adverse effects, and it increase the marital harmony in the marriage. Uh, if the Lord of the seventh house is strong, Mangal dosha does not occur because seventh house is powerful. Seventh house Lord protect marriage and overcomes the afflictions. If Jupiter is placed in seventh house, Mangal dosha does not occur because Jupiter brings wisdom, morality, and patience and driven protection to into the married life. If Saturn and Venus are together in the seventh house, Mangal dosh does not occur because Saturn is disciplined planet. Venus is known for the passion, affection, love, and harmony. When they are placed in the seventh house, it gives the commitment and stability and balancing the Mars energy. If Venus associated with benefic planet and plays in Taurus or Libra, aspected Mars, Mangal dosha does not occur because Venus controls Mars through love, diplomacy, reduce the harmful influence of Mars. Because when Venus and Mars combine, they create a passionate and harmony in the married life. Even if none of the above combination are present, if the Moon and Jupiter, Saturn and Venus are strong in the horoscope, Mangal dosha is also called can be a cancel because strong benefic and stabilizing planet reduce the Mars energy and channelize the Mars energy in the positive side in very constructive way for the marital life. If the ascendant is Capricorn, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, and Scorpio, Mangal dosha does not occur because these ascendant naturally process the result according to dignity and natural relationship with this yoga. If second, fourth, seventh, and 12th house falls in Aries, Scorpio, or Cancer, Mangal dosha does not occur because Aries and Scorpio, Mars in its own sign, and as we know that Cancer sign is known as a mother sign, protector sign, Mars protector here. So when Mars posited in 12th house and in Cancer sign, it does not consider as a Mangal dosh. If the Lord of seventh house, regardless of which planet in it conjunct with Venus, Mangal dosh does not occur because we know that seventh house is also marriage receive direct support from Venus and natural significator of marriage. So Mars is not harmful here. If Jupiter and Venus are strong and placed in Kendra, first, fourth, seventh, 10th house or Trikona, dosh does not occur because Jupiter provides wisdom, protection, while Venus governs marriage and love. When both are spacious houses, they create protective yoga that overweigh the Mars positive energy towards the marital life. If the Lord of seventh house is strong and receive the aspect of benefic planet, Mangal dosha does not occur because a powerful and benefic aspected seventh lord strength uh, marital harmony, stability, and compatibility, reducing the impact of Mars, and it creates a channel. It channelize the channelize the energy of Mars in the towards the right direction for the married life. If Saturn aspect Mars or is conjunct with Mars, Mangal dosha considered as Cancer because Saturn discipline retains and mature planet, it reduced the Mars aggression, making the native more patient and responsible in the relationship. If strong benefic planets occupies the second, seventh, and seventh house, dosha does not occur because second house represent family and seventh house represent marriage. Benefic in these houses protect family life and the marital happiness. Sorry. When if benefic planet is exalted or placed in own sign in the ascendant, Mangal dosha does not occur because a strong lagna lord improve the native's overall character judgment, and the emotional balance, reducing the harmful expansion of the Mars. If the Venus is strong and placed in the first, second, fourth, and 12th house, Mangal dosha does not occur because Venus naturally signify love, affection, compromise, and marital happiness. Its strength in these important relationship houses neutralize Mars energy and channelize the Mars energy towards the positive side. If Venus is placed in the 6th and 12th house in Pisces, Taurus, or Libra, Mangal dosh does not occur because in these signs Venus remains dignified, exalted in the Pisces, Taurus and Libra its own sign, along to preserve harmony even from the challenging houses. If the moon sign of the couple are friendly or more than 27 gunar match in Kundli Milan, the effect of Mangal dosha is are neutralized. If Mars is placed on the enemy sign or combust, Mangal dosha should not be considered because here Mars energy, although in the right direction, it's not very aggressive. It supports the marital harmony and give us support in the marriage life. If the moon and Mars are conjunct in second house, Mangal dosha is also known as cancel because here moon and Mars create a Chandramangal yoga for the marriage. And second house, why we take a second house? Because it's a second house is the life of the age of the married life because it's the eighth from the eighth house, and we consider is a how age of the marriage life house. If the moon and Mars conjunct in Kendras for first, fourth, seventh, and 10th house, adverse effect of Mars are specified because the moon softened Mars and adding emotional sensitivity, and adaptability. In Kendra, this combination often become constructive and channel the Mars energy positively. If strong Jupiter and strong Venus is placed in ascendant or the seventh house, so Mangal dosha does not remain because Jupiter protect through wisdom, ethic, and divine grace, while Venus promotes love, harmony, mutual respect. Their strength in the Lagna or the seventh house significantly safeguard marriage, thereby neutralizing a dosha and converted into a yoga. So Mars examined through a real birth chart data and live case study consistently reveals itself as a yoga, a source of marital energy, passion, resilience, and devotion. The fear surrounding Mangal Dosh is a culture constructed, not an astrological reality. Across every house, every sign, every pairing pattern studies, resonance, polarity, and cross Mangal alike, Mars become a foundation for stability, commitment, and long-lasting marital happiness. So thank you everyone for listening me patiently.
So, good one, Chitwa. Nice one. You have concluded your listings. So, I'm audible, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You have concluded very well. The way it is like the mass. It is not your dosha, it is a yoga. So I can see my thesis or my presentations over there. I can remember my things. So well, it is like a very good one. So any other questions?
Thank you, sir. We need your support and guidance
Absolutely,
for this
absolutely.
journey.
And I'm happy that is like for your things, because it's been my own the things, my own research, absolutely. And you're doing a very good. It's good one. So, any other questions from the team? Yes. So that's all for now. Thank you so much. Namaskar.